I just got done watching the open workout with George Kambosos and Devin Haney. And, as I was sitting there watching it, it became really clear to me. Kambosos is trying to win this fight off the same elements that he beat Teofimo Lopez with. And what I mean by that is they've been trying to mentally break Devin Haney. And he's been planting these seeds very early on. The first thing was the crowd. Well, how you going to fight in front of 80,000? The crowd, it gets crazy, It gets crazy, And the thing is, they never expected Devin Haney to accept the terms and agreements that he ended up accepting. They were almost positive that he was never going to go for that. But Devin Haney surprised him, and he accepted it. So he's been working this angle very early. At first it was the crowd, what I'm saying? How you going to deal with the 80,000? You know what I'm saying? That's intimidating. This, that, the third, Devin Haney simply told him, the crowds don't win fights. Then it went from the crowd to how you going to deal with the flight? You know what I'm saying? That's a long flight. I've took that flight many a times, for little next to nothing. How you going to deal with the flight? How you going to deal with the flight? Like, man, the flight ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Then once he get there, they deny his father access, to the country. They were pretty sure that was going to do something to Devin Haney mentally. Nope. They see that didn't fade him. You know what I'm saying? And Kambosos is just like, fuck, man. Like, how did I get under this guy's skin? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to call him a rat. I'm going to call him this and that. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of the most lamest things that you could do, because what Kambosos was counting on was simply this. Since he loved to call Devin Haney a gangster and all this other stuff, and Devin Haney never claimed that. He don't act like that. He don't walk like that. He don't talk like that. What is one of the most despicable things that you can be called in the urban culture, in our culture? A rat. And this is why he doesn't know how to use the terminology correctly. He just went for something. He like, oh yeah, well, in his culture, one of the worst things you could be called is a rat. So let me just call him a rat. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Teofimo Lopez is going to be waiting for you in Vegas. Like, that's the funniest crap that I ever heard of. You talk about the same Teofimo Lopez that was avoiding a fight with him. And you know what I'm saying? And Teo was my boy. I mean, to a certain extent, Teo is still my boy. He just got to get his head together. But let me go ahead and call him a rat. Let me go ahead and say this. He's tried every single thing that he has in his toolbox to try to get underneath Devin Haney's skin, because he wants to try to win this fight off of the same elements that he beat Teofimo Lopez. And that is, Teofimo Lopez's head was not screwed on correctly. And I'll still stand by it. Had Teofimo Lopez had his head on correctly, he would have beat George Kambosos. Period. He would have beat him. But since he know that what Teofimo Lopez is going through, with his mom, with his girl, and his son and all that other stuff, and because that's where all his stuff stems from, the hookah smoking and all that stuff. That's where all that stuff stems from. And he knew how much that affected George Kambosos, how much that affected Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo Lopez just came in there with no plan. He wanted to frustrate Devin Haney to the point that Devin Haney comes in the same way that Teofimo Lopez came in, fired up, ready to go, angry, think he can take him out quick, because that's Kambosos' element. What Kambosos don't want is a calm, cool, collective Devin Haney. That's what's going to be hard for him to fight. A Devin Haney just want to go in there and, be gun-ho. You know what I'm saying? He depends on that. You know what I'm saying? He loves countering people like that. But he's seen thus far that he hasn't been able to get under Devin Haney's skin. This is why, everything he does sounds scripted, and why it comes off just so weird and tacky, and you know what I'm saying? It just comes off real tacky, you know what I'm saying? And odd and uncomfortable and dorkish, and you know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of other things. It just comes off like very lame. And that's because he want to try to put Devin Haney's mind in the same element Teofimo Lopez was. Because that's the big reason why he even won that fight in the first place. Teofimo Lopez's head was not screwed on correctly. So that's why he's been talking about, you're going to have to deal with the crowd. Oh, you're going to have to deal with the flight. Oh, you're a rat. Oh, you need change. Oh, your father's not here. Oh, you're a rat. Oh, this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, he wants to try to win this fight through the skullduggery, not really his fists. And it's obvious. And the whole reason why he's doing it is because they swore that they laid out an agreement that no fighter would agree to. Except they didn't plan on Devin Haney saying, okay, let's roll with this. So, he's highly upset about it. And he's nervous, and it makes him feel very uncomfortable about it. So he wants to try to depend on an element that he's not good at all. And that's mind games. And Devin Haney just remained as calm, as cool as can be, which is unearthing George Kambosos. So this whole time, the only thing he's been dependent on is trying to get in Devin Haney's head to have him get in there and not think just like Teofimo Lopez did. Because that's his bread and butter. That's where he operates the best. That's where he loves to counter off of. He wants you to come in at him aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He wants that. So he can take his little 2 steps back and throw his overhand right. One of his favorite things to do. But what he doesn't want is somebody who's cool, calm, and collective. Sound, using his ring IQ. Being very cerebral. Using the jab, working everything off the jab. Using the range, using the distance. You know what I'm saying? Good punch selection, pot shot, and all that shit. He doesn't want that because that's a hard fight for Kambosos. If you want to go in there and be super aggressive with Kambosos, that's his fight. So that's what he's been banking on this entire time, and that's why he's been talking all this crap that he's been talking non-stop. You know what I'm saying? And he said some stuff that, just went way out of the way. Why you want to try to damage the kid for life? Give him brain damage for life. But yet when you was in his face, you said that you respected him and there's a mutual respect there. And then you want to go ahead and call him a rat. But when the truth of the matter is, and I said it before, Devin Haney didn't tell George Kambosos nothing special. You know what I'm saying? We all seen him out smoking hookah. We all knew about the element of in his kid and all that, and his girl and his wife and all that. We all knew about that. You didn't need Devin Haney to DM you to find that stuff out. Hell, you could have learned that shit from me. You know what I'm saying? But it's out there for the world to see. So he didn't give you no real inside anything. Anybody who's paying attention, to what's going on, could have told you the exact same thing that Devin Haney told you. When Teofimo was out there smoking hookah, wasn't we all talking about that? What we all talk about Teofimo's mind state? Wasn't Clarissa Shields talk about Teofimo Lopez's mind state? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was saying that. He didn't tell him nothing new or nothing significant. Or most importantly, he didn't tell him anything that was going to give him an edge. He didn't. He didn't tell him anything. I could see if he said, oh, he's doing this in his training camp. He's doing that in his training camp. He was just generally saying what all of us seen. You know what I'm saying? We seen him out there smoking. I mean, he did a like a top ranked interview and stuff like that. And he said, I miss my son. I haven't seen my son. Blase split. You know what I'm saying? He did that. He said that on one of his specials. So he didn't give Kambosos nothing, no new exclusive shit that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. To add on top of that, he's using the whole terminology wrong. Because he wants to try to talk about something that he knows nothing about. How you gonna tell somebody that they're not a gangster, but you trying to use gangster terminology, but you're using it in the wrong way? You know what I'm saying? It just make no sense. It's just clowning at the end of the day. But his main weapon of choice is to try to mess with his head. Now, if he's the emperor, he's a good boxer and all that, just rely on your boxing skills. You don't see Devin Haney acting a clown, acting a fool, going out of his way to say something about you. And to add on top of that, Devin Haney is still showing him somewhat some respect. Still. He's still operating with class. He's still not going to the level that George Kambosos has gone to. But for somebody who's supposed to be sitting up so high, somebody who's supposed to be the emperor, he's acting like a peasant. Just real talk at the end of the day. You know? But he's want to try to rely on scrambling somebody's brain. And he hasn't been able to do it. And it's been upsetting him. And it's been making him uncomfortable. That's all I got for right now. Like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Vane. I'm out.